Hey guys, it's Sharon with Little Britain Company, and welcome to the channel. So today I am going to, I have another project. Let's put it that way. Let me start at the beginning. So today I'm going to do yet another project with this paper pack. This is the, what is it? The homemade from Cartabella paper pack. And oh my goodness, so this should be project number 7. This is, like I said, the paper pack that just keeps on giving. But what I'm using for this next one are these flat cards and envelopes. So that's pretty cool. This is 4 4¼ inch by 5½ inches. So what I've done, I did a couple of them, and I'm going to do a few with you, is I'm just making these really cool, you can use them as cards. I'm really liking the idea of these for like journal cards in your junk journals or in any journals. You could also, I mean, there's so many things you could do. You could actually turn these into postcards if you wanted to. And I just really like the way they work out. These were cut-aparts. You had these really cool cut-aparts that came with the pack. So what I'm going to show you kind of what I do. I'm going to cut this down, and then I'll show you how. Let me give you a little more room here to see stuff. And then I'll show you how I make decisions about where I'm cutting. Because I want to make sure that this fits, yeah, right there where I want it to. It's very cute. And I just really like that. You know, they've got some, if I could talk. They have some very cute sayings. This is interesting because I didn't cut this at all. It does not look even to me. That's going to kind of drive me nuts. So I do like to, oh, it's even. This is how I like to measure these, because I just don't want to do any extra cutting if I don't need to, except that I need to slim that down just by a touch. Still, why is this off? Maybe it's the way I cut it. All right, I'm gonna make sure that this is exactly right. There, because that was kind of driving me nuts. So what I have found with my cards, with the cut-apart cards, is that they're not perfect. I don't understand. So I may need to trim them just, like I said, a touch. Just a tooch. Cute. All right, so before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and cut a few more of these down. I mean, they're so cute. This card, however, was not the same size as this card. And although it would have made sense for me just to measure this to the same size, because it has a different amount top and bottom, that's just a pain. Trying to measure it instead, it's just easier for me to do this. So much easier. So I'm just going to take this and figure out where I want it to be. And then I'm trimming them. It's not an exact science. It's close enough. So I can, I'm actually going to measure that. I'm going to do that. So I don't go through the same thing I went through with the other one. And because I cut these out, and I tried to cut them fairly precisely, but you know, I'm not perfect. Well, let's see if we got close. So close. So close. I'm going to bring this under and I'm going to try to even that out. Now that I know I have top and bottom, that is pretty good. And I'm going to finish off some of these. Really should not leave that open. That's just not a good idea. This is a little bit harder. I'm going to end up getting a different amount. It'll be fine. Okay, so I want it there and I want it there. Now, I think I'm going to be more careful with this one because I think I know where my straight edge was. So I'm going to try to use that. It's pretty cute. And then I bring it over to this, and these are just never exact. And bring it all the way out to that, and ooh, that actually worked out pretty well. So I have 2 more to do. I mean, this, you all can see, this is a pretty simple project. This particular one is super simple. So I'm really enjoying doing this one, again, because it's just so simple. I've done it, you know, sometimes we just get caught up doing, what's the most complicated thing I can do? I do that sometimes. No, never me. Yeah, so sometimes it's just nice to grab something easy and go from there. And these are heavy. I mean, they're definitely card stock. They're definitely card worthy. So sweet. And make sure that's lined up right. Perfect. And this is the last one. This one's so sweet. Let me do it this way because I want to get the, ooh, it's, let's see. That's interesting. Okay. So I'm trying to kind of center it. That's about right. I have no idea if I have a straight edge on this one. We'll do that. Is actually pretty close. We've had a relatively busy night. We had to go out shopping. It's getting weird out there, guys. We went to the grocery store and I gotta say, there were a couple of aisles that were looking pretty sparse, and it was funny because at our grocery store, my husband said something about, oh, you know, the shelves starting to come empty, and it's clear that they are. It's clear that the shelves are getting a little bit empty. But the response from the workers was, oh no, we're just doing inventory. And so we don't want to bring out the new food until the old food. That's not really the way grocery inventory works. So I thought that was, an interesting choice. Probably, I'd be willing to hazard a guess that is what they were told to say. And that's fine. I mean, I think we all know that's just the way it is right now. But it was getting a little weird. I gotta say. All right, so I am just going to, actually, I think I'm going to do this one. I'm just using my tear tape because it is fairly quick and easy. And I think I showed you last time, this one is just, I don't know what shredded this. This was supposed to be a really good one, and it is getting weird. So I'm going to use my Dollar Tree one that has not shredded, even though I've had it a couple of years. Oh, I should have gotten it closer to the edge, but it'll be fine. I will probably use just a little bit of glue close to that edge because I don't want it to come up. That's better. Just gonna do a wee bit of burnishing. And away it flew. Get a little, I don't need to be like that. There we go. The tear tape is fun. All right. I am going to put a wee bit of glue right up on top because I definitely missed the mark. So to try to get these exactly right, that's pretty good. I might do a little trimming on that one, but that came together fairly well. So I'll show you right away before I put the rest of the tape on the other ones. Again, these are just super simple. So I am going to do a very small trim right there. Perfect. So that one's kind of perfect. I've got a teeny tiny, if I can get that, bit of white coming through up here. That's pretty good. And then I just and just like that. Beautiful little journal card. So I'm going to put that with my other ones. So the thing about these, actually I'm going to use glue on the next ones because I can move glue around a little bit. And I love my tear tape, but I want to be able to move it around just a little bit so I don't have to cut anything else. Oh, come on. After all of that, it decides to freeze up on me. Okay. I'll just grab a new one. I'll show it. That's the nice thing about the glue. You don't have to go all the way to the end. You just try to get close, because when you burnish it a little bit, the glue moves out to the ends. And this way, I can get it pretty much where I want it to be. Let me do a couple of those. I mean, seriously, this is one of the easiest projects, and I love how it's making these kind of instant journal cards. You could put a picture on the back of that, or keeping in theme, you could always put a recipe on the back, because this whole thing has been kind of a lovely cooking theme. Recipes and cooking. I mean, seriously, this is one of the quickest one I've done, but this paper, by the way, is so thick, and it's textured. I don't know if you, I mean, you probably can hear the texture. And so because it's so thick and textured, oh, good gracious, you really need this kind of thicker card underneath it to give it that great substantial journal card feel, if that makes sense. This by itself is, you know, this doesn't do that quite as much. And the two of them together are not really moving a whole lot. And this pack, I believe that Hobby Lobby still carries this. I don't think this is one of the ones that was clearanced for like $2.99. And you do get the envelopes. And, you know, envelopes are also great to use directly in... The heck did that do? Directly in your journal to... It's really off. I'm gonna have to trim this a little bit. I know this was so off. But anyway, yeah, I mean, envelopes are great to use in your journals. And you can use these directly with it. You've got that kind of ready to go. All right, we're gonna do that one. And I need to make sure. There, that's fine. It was off just ever so slightly. So it's 10:15 at night. And I don't know if any of you have hearing aids. I've been hard of hearing most of my life, although I didn't really know that it was an actual, you know. I knew that I struggled sometimes, but it was later in life that I found out when I saw an audiologist specialist that I had been hard of, you know, truly hard of hearing for a very long time. Anywho, I wear 2 hearing aids, one for each ear. And one of my hearing aids, it dies early every night. So in my left ear, I no longer can hear for the moment, but my right ear is just fine. it creates a really interesting effect. So I've got my, I think this is We Are Memories, our memory keepers, chomper, my corner chomper. I do find I have to really make sure that I'm getting it solid and I'm holding that corner or it can kind of get off. All right, guys, so we made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 journal cards. 8 journal cards in, what, 20 minutes. That's not bad. And of course, and I still have like 4 more. I think there's 12 in the packs. I was thinking about doing, and you could, I don't know that I'm going to do that right now, but I had thought about doing a little backing and maybe that one, or even doing some smaller journal cards. That one's really pretty, but I think I have another plan for these cards. Look at all of this is, by the way, this is what I have left. Still, I still have all of these journal cards. I have all of these cut aparts, and I have all of these pieces, some of which are still pretty substantial. So there's definitely going to be at least one more project, but not tonight. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope that you feel the urge, because it's really fun. You'll get to see the next ones that come out. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. I can't stop laughing. Cheers.